What's up? Welcome back to my channel, or for the first time if you're new, I'm Sylvan, and today I'm going to be reacting to Zhao's character demo, Bunny Therapy. I'm very curious to see what we get into here. I am a bit late to this, I will admit, but I had just gone on vacation when this first released, and it's taken me a moment to get to it because real life's been fucking me up a little bit, I will admit, but I'm here now, and I'm curious to see what side of Zhao we see here. I haven't finished the main story of 2.5 yet. I streamed the first about 4 hours of the story earlier this week, and am going to be streaming the rest soon, but even just that first bit was enough to get an interesting look at Zhao's character, and I'm curious to see if we get any glimpses of what I saw there, or any hints of what perhaps I might still see later in the story, or if this will be much like her EP, and more of a just sort of vibes thing. Either way, I've blabbered on long enough already. Feel free to like and subscribe if you enjoy the video, leave a comment on your thoughts, and consider becoming a channel member if you want to support me just that little bit extra, and let's get into this.
So, Krampus is looking into that thing you pulled.
Oh?
Be careful. Watch your back, and don't breathe a word to anyone.
I've been cooped up in
Okay.
this dump for days. Who would I even talk to?
Some
Dude,
criminal or
don't let it
something?
go.
Yeah, relax. I'm hanging up. Krampus this, Krampus that. Like they'd ever find me.
And thus comes the... and then he clicks on something that has a Krampus member on it, okay. What? What? What is happening?
Now, new cuties in chat. In this stream, you can say anything to Bunny here, okay?
What?
I'm not.
What is happening? What? Of all things I expected, I can't say it was this. Okay. Seeing more of Zhao's cute side, I guess. Is this the therapy in the title?
It's been so long. Why won't you tell Bunny what's on your mind?
Why don't you confess all your
That
crimes?
secret that's been eating at you.
Yeah.
Wait, do you think that Bunny's not trustworthy enough?
Oh boy. The emotional, like, manipulation. There it is. She's got you. There's no escaping now. I love the tone shift. Ooh, totally into more horror vibes. I love it. Looking through, and she looks back. Okay.
Oh,
Miss Bunny!
And he trusts her.
Does this mean there's even in-person therapy
There's a
sessions?
fucking sword
everything
behind the
comes with a
back.
price. Wouldn't you agree?
There's the philosophy.
So,
Everything has
it's time
value and a
to pay.
price.
For what you took.
Equivalent exchange.
Don't breathe a word to anyone.
You fucked up, my guy. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. Wow.
All cleaned up, Miss Zhao. Oh, and the veggie salad you ordered is here.
I told you not to touch my food delivery. That was the side dish for my steak.
Meat-eating rabbit, right? This is a really solid demo in my mind. Much more than her other promotional material, I feel like this captures the core vibe of her. Ultimately, Zhao, much like most of the members of Krampus, is someone who can, on a drop of a dime, switch between her more sociable, kind personality and her more serious, aggressive, dangerous one. But in the case of Zhao, is at its most extreme, I would say. Where Dailin has her sort of customer service mode, and then she has her more serious mode. Both of them are very clearly the same person and personality to make you believe that when she's doing both, she is entirely still her. It's just what mode she's in, essentially. And for Banyue, his duality is a bit more complicated, less intentional towards his own way of acting, and more so just like the duality of his being. But for Zhao, there is a much more drastic and noticeable distinction between her more cutesy side and her more dangerous side. Regardless if she enjoys putting on this more cutesy act, or if it's not even really fully an act, it is clear, at least in this context, the reason she is doing this is to get this guy's trust, trick him into revealing his secrets so he can be hunted down and punished for his crimes, whatever they may be. And that contrast is very well shown in the tone of this demo through this initial majority of the demo as well as the very end. Of course, this main part shows her more cutesy, deceiving side, leading into all of these sort of hazy pastels and cutesy appearances, completely contrasted by the more horror vibes of her at the door, holding the big sword behind her back, ready to take this guy out at a moment's notice. And what this ultimately tells us about Zhao is that she is completely willing to weaponize her cuteness and perceived adorableness to get her job done, which honestly isn't too much of a surprise given what we saw in her EP, where the EP more so focused on her being in the spotlight and being the center of everyone's attention. This much more shows what she can do with that attention. She can get you to let your guard down, relax around her, and not think straight when she uses some of the most basic guilt tripping in the world. And the moment he gives up his secrets, the moment he gives up his location, what he's done, that kind of thing, the facade slips. Things start glitching because this is all just part of a online like therapy session type thing. And Zhao smirks. She's got him and doesn't need to play along with the charade anymore. And from here, we immediately switch to the horror vibes, perfectly formed by the way this room distorts outward, stretching away as he turns towards the door, and the sound of someone knocking. But even once we've entered this darker, more eerie vibe, we still are getting proof of how manipulative she can be, how strongly she can grab hold of someone. Even when he is someone in hiding and hears an ominous knock at his door, something he should never really expect. The moment he realizes that it's Zhao, or Miss Bunny as he knows her, he lets his guard down again. He opens the door, welcomes her in, hopefully assumes that this is some kind of in-person therapy. Proof that once she sinks her claws into you, you're not getting out. Even when she's started to make her intentions clear, she does not need to force her way in. She is welcomed inside. And it's here where we begin to see the true beliefs and philosophies of Zhao. She no longer needs to hide behind a mask, behind her cuteness. She can be honest as she takes this guy down. And this is the main other aspect that I'd like to acknowledge. It's something I've already briefly talked about in my latest stream of the story. Zhao is someone who views the world in transactions, in value. Equivalent exchange is a term she uses from time to time in the story, and here we see her say that everything comes with a price. It's a rather simple and straightforward philosophy, and as a high-ranking member of Krampus, it is her job to balance those scales. When someone oversteps their bounds and takes far more than they give, she is there to make sure that they give something back no matter what. And of course, that isn't necessarily in the altruistic sense of making sure that everything is fair and balanced. From a moral standpoint, she isn't going after every corrupt businessman, but that ultimately is what her role is, and likely the way she views her own work. But then, after all of that very solid character work and sort of vibe setting, we end out with a much more goofy moment. A moment where she isn't fully composed, but it ultimately does tie in to some of these other details and aspects I've been talking about, both in this demo and in previous promotional material for her. She wants to be very careful about her image. She gets flustered and annoyed when she thinks that someone has misunderstood that she was just eating veggies rather than meat, because she holds the title of meat-eating bunny, or whatever exactly the title was. She's willing to weaponize her cuteness, but she wants to be perceived by her co-workers and those who are actually important and in the know to think of her as a carnivore, a meat eater, something aggressive, powerful, dominant. All of these sort of aesthetic and thematic associations with predators. And though this ties into the idea of her wanting to control and mold her image to her liking, it also serves as a moment of unintentional cuteness from her, which is just a fun way to finish out the demo. But with that, before I finish out the video, the main other thing I want to touch on is more of a meta thing rather than a narrative thing. This is entirely 2D. What is the difference between this and an animated short. It's been obvious for a long time that demos have not really been about showing the actual kit of any given character, but this demo basically isn't a demo. It's a character showcase, of course, but it is not a kit showcase by any means, which ultimately is something I am not that concerned about. I am not one for forcing things into specific boxes, but I do ultimately find it a bit funny that this is really just a animated short that isn't called that, which is not inherently a bad thing. In fact, in many ways, the fact that they were willing and had the time and resources to make a full 2D animated thing is exciting. Generally speaking, when I see these more 2D based art style things, I get excited more than anything. But that doesn't change that I find it a bit funny. With that said though, I'm basically just rambling at this point, so I'm going to end things here. Feel free to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, leave a comment on your thoughts, and very special thanks to all of my channel members, including Morphosilica, Desaize, and Pokelove101 at the normal tier, and Kono Nano at the cool person tier. Really appreciate your support, as always, and I hope you all have a great day. Bye-bye.